Peppermint was directed by Pierre Morel, who also directed the Taken movie that stars Liam Neeson. I enjoyed Taken, I did. It was a big surprise for me. It wasn't a movie I normally saw, the man that has something happen to him that is really tragic and he goes to seek revenge. I hadn't seen a lot of movies like that up until the point that I saw Taken, so it was a refreshing movie for me. And when I heard that this had the same director and arguably a very similar story, I was intrigued. It has a female lead, Jennifer Garner. Let's talk about her for a second. This is a spoiler-free review, of course, but she does well in this movie. She is the star of this movie in every way. Her performance is very well done, and I doubt she's going to get any awards for this performance, but she does it very well. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory, but I'm just going to say she is great. The rest of the movie does not amount to how good she does. The basic premise of the movie is that a tremendous tragedy happens to her inside her family, and she goes and does some training, she disciplines herself, and gets to the point of where she can go out and start to take revenge. That is the premise. We've seen this sort of premise a lot in movies, and it's been done many different times. And sometimes well, sometimes not so much. And Jennifer Garner, she does amazing in this movie, and I really appreciated her role. She was very emotional. She conveyed what she was feeling very well. And this movie, I don't think, is going to get as much recognition as it should. And only real big complaint I have is that not much time is spent with the ones who are responsible. I don't feel that's a spoiler, but this movie, it's a very slow-paced action movie. There isn't a whole lot of detective work done. There isn't a whole lot of things that are pulling on a string. Like, she doesn't find a detail that leads her to someone else, that leads her to someone else. She's always going to a new person for some information that's going to lead her somewhere along the way. The soundtrack, again, I praise soundtracks a lot on my channel, but I think soundtracks deserve their credit. The soundtrack of this movie is very compelling, it is very good, and I enjoyed it. And after seeing the movie, I even went online and looked up a couple of the songs and listened to them afterwards because they are very pleasing melodies. And I also looked up some of Jennifer Garner's work. She does not do a lot of movies like this, and that's very good. She had really awesome range, and I really appreciated this movie. And that is really all I have to say about it. Pierre Morel, he directed the movie very well. There's not a lot of surprises in this movie. Having seen the premise done before, you can see a lot of things coming. You can kind of predict where the movie's going to go, but that doesn't take away from its enjoyability. And after I saw the movie, I went online and looked at some other reviews for this movie as well. And most people's complaint is that it's just disappointing, that it just doesn't deliver on points that people wanted it to. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I can see it just isn't what people wanted. And there's a lot of movies that have come out in recent years that when they weren't what people wanted, people liked it for about 5 seconds and then just turned on it and thought it was the worst movie ever made and heckled the makers and just trashed it and still talk about it on the internet and trash it. I don't know why. But this movie was good. I enjoyed it. It gets my recommendation. It isn't a fantastic movie. It isn't going to blow you away. It has some memorable performances. It has a memorable soundtrack, and it's very well directed. Pierre Morel, I would prefer his Taken movie over this. And that's not to say I don't enjoy this movie. I do. It gets a 6.5 out of 10. I'm probably not going to end up owning it, but it definitely is something someday in the future I'll probably watch again because it's worth seeing. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Check out my other movie reviews as well. And thank you. Take care. You guys have a great day.